He's staring at our Aberdeen hide, London eyes, Glasgow bones. She's whistling the catacombs, a paradox. He's in love with the statue in a marble block. He's in love with the girl that time forgot. She just shakes her ears. She's falling too far with salt in her scars. Won't let it taste her tears. She's falling too far. The girl that time forgot. Wasted moments
dê o seu comentário depois dos highlights. Então manda aí no chat, hashtag galinha. Quem curte o
Welcome back to the show. Overpass begins with Immortals on the CT side. Pistol time. Steel with the defuse kit and the flash. Fallen with grenades for his team. Molotov could end up in the water, stopping the CTs from peeking with a crossfire around the corner, should they go to B, but there's no indication of that bomb left practically in T-spawn by the T side. 3 players starting for Immortals in the B bomb site. It's a slow start. Ooh, the crouch from KNG, the new man on the Immortals team, but he will not be successful. As for trying to avoid further gunfights, he wants to take them on his terms, and his terms are very quickly appearing in short B, and those are the CTs getting taken out from the B bomb site. Immortals now, what do they do with the last 2 players? Steel's made his way. Ooh, some quick headshots actually. They're keeping it competitive, are the Immortals players. 2 USPs on the T side. That will extend the range of the fights for the T's. Fallen dropping some flashes. He still has his Molotov, but doesn't really have a position with which to throw grenades at this point. He'll manage to deploy it onto the balcony, and then Fer gets the headshot onto Henny, leaving Steel alone in 1 versus 3. Double peek comes in, and that's the round for SK Gaming. Nice. So far, so good. Excuse me, my sound has completely died in my headphones. I'm not sure what I've done. But anyway. Oh, there it is. Okay. It started working again. I'm back. I was a bit distracted by that, which is why I might sound weird in that round. For those of you at home who like to go for the B rush on the T side, go for an A rush. Go for a short A rush instead. Because people... Is your mic muted? Okay, because people expect the B rush. I can't hear you. I don't know. Production is Yanko muted? Let me know.
Hello.
There we go. Welcome back.
Hello.
Hello, Dan.
Hello, hello.
B rush or A rush, Dan? On a T pistol of overpass.
B rush.
That's the wrong answer, Dan.
Why?
Because it's A rush.
But why?
Because the B rush is too obvious.
It doesn't matter if it's too obvious, because your engagements are more favorable. Am I muted? I can't hear myself.
You're not muted. It's not more favorable if there are less people on A.
What I think is that you can overwhelm the CTs way more easily, and you get good engagements, whereas you don't get good engagements unless you can make it all the way to the A bomb site, and the CTs can get more shots off on long ranges.
But they're going to be on B.
Yeah, you can play a numbers game with good ranges. Right, you can swarm them. It's much harder to get like...
But there's less people to swarm on A.
But it's like, you almost want... I mean, it's almost better just killing them all straight away. Right, yeah. Right?
But they could kill you as well, whereas you could...
But like, okay,
No.
But you're always advocating the fact that like, it's way better. Like obviously the range advantage is so much better for the USP, but the thing is, like, when the Glocks get close to you and they're jumping around corners, it's impossible to kill them with USPs, especially not calmly. And you have to like empty your entire 12 bullets to kill like one player.
Yeah, but you can look in monster, and then they're all in a funnel.
Yeah, but you don't want to just go monster. You can split it.
A rush, mate. A rush. I am
Oh,
right,
no,
and
man.
you are wrong, and that is a fact, according to the book called Facts of Bardolph, available in all good bookstores.
What did Yanker say? What was Yanker's opinion?
A rush or B rush on pistol round for T's?
B.
What is that? What your logic is? I don't know, mate. It's just come on.
Yeah, let's go A where there's long ranges everywhere and we can get destroyed before we even get to the bomb site.
There are going to be 3 people B, so rush A.
How do you know that?
Because B's too obvious.
Even still, like you just crush them. You're instantly close range and jumping around corners, swarming them. Right? It's more easy. It's more easy.
If
It's easier.
anything, the CTs play passive B towards graffiti and CT spawn or heaven. And you can get the bomb down at least.
I'm rushing A because I'm a beast. And so is KNG. Double up straight off the bat for Immortals. Losing the pistol. Saving their money. And that's a nice early pick for them because you see the lack of utility thanks to the force buys and such. SK, what is your response? They have to assume Henny is AWPing if KNG is AWPing. They'll know that much. So now it's a dangerous creep around the overpass map to try and identify where Henny's playing.
But if there's anybody to get into the heads of the opponent AWPer, then it's going to be Fallen, right? Like, Fallen's going to be a guy that can read the positions well. He's going to take good guesses because he himself has been and can still be the best AWPer in the world, especially on a map like Overpass. So get to avoid stuff. I like that play from Taco, actually. Just going out for the engagement. Oh, that's not a miss you can make. Phelps takes down Henny pretty
It's a bad
easily.
miss.
And now that's opening things up for SK.
Who are still at a man disadvantage. Immortals have a reasonable hold, but the hold on A can quickly disappear for the team. And there are flashes on SK, but they are held by the close man Phelps. They're going to go for a double peek instead. KNG spotted. Bolts. Oh, look at the Molotovs flying in. It's going to limit where the CTs can stand, and then may not be prepared to protect themselves from the oncoming pushes. Bolts will save KNG's bacon. And again, the CTs retain the man advantage. Cold looking to plant the bomb. There's no flank coming in from the CTs. 10 seconds left and Fallen firing off warning shots. But KNG's there again and again and again. Coldzera taken down. 3 players surviving for Immortals. They may have time to collect that second AWP if they want it. There it is. 3 kills from new man KNG. Starting off on B, finishing off on A. He is everywhere. He is omnipresent, Yanko.
You know what was the problem?
What?
In that late execute, they missed the Molotov for stairs. Basically, it went too far, and it kind of popped behind. I think that was missed. I think the goal was to molly off the rotation. So that may have allowed Phelps to live, and SK would have had a more favorable after plan situation, but still they have a very good buy. They have an opportunity to keep the pressure on Immortals, and they decide to go for a slower round, spreading around in a default. Run boost.
Oh, he tries to go for it and doesn't work out. It doesn't really work out for King, and that's going to be some nice ground gained by SK Gaming. Why are you looking at me weird, Yanko?
What are you doing with your arms?
It was communication with production.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. As letting them know that everything's okay.
Thought you were doing some kind of weird celebration.
Because I wanted some more volume in my headphones. That's what the people like on rap videos always say. Like if they're in like a studio, it's like,
Turn me up in the headphones.
yeah, turn me up in the headphones. That's what we're doing. We're doing that. It's getting turned up.
Turn up.
Turned up.
Not to be confused with getting turnt.
What does that even mean? I can't remember what it means.
I think it's like getting drunk in the club or something.
All right. Okay. All right. So Fallen. Oh, of course he gets that shot. He knows before King KNG. Oh, I shouldn't do that. KNG is actually. We'll go with that.
KNG.
I don't think I'll be able to do that. So good move from Coldzera as well to get the entry onto Henny.
Legitimately.
And the SK train slowly moves forwards, and it's a hard thing to stop. It's just slowly getting into that bomb site, and they have smokes everywhere now, going for the full execution. All the plant in front of the container, and there's a cover from Taco. What a mates. What a mates.
Mates. Cold Zero finally taken down on the site. Only had 20 HP, now he's gone. No smokes, no grenades to drive out these SK players. It's going to be hard, this retake for Immortals. Steel just charging in towards the toilets, but he'll get taken down by Taco. Leaving Lucas subject to a potential double peek. Uses the USP to try and fake flash, but it will not work out. And SK take the round. There are some sorry Immortals faces. 4-1 in favor of SK, looking fairly calm, chilled out at the moment. We've seen they've been releasing some of the back behind the scenes videos that they've been doing during ECS matches have been coming up on the SK YouTube, and you can see Dead, he is filming another one, it seems. If you look on the Reddit, you'll see one of those videos. I think versus Cloud9 from the inside the house perspective. So now it can be the on the stage perspective, which Dead is currently filming. Immortals on pistols at the moment. Fur, the man on the expedition with the Mac-10. I think we had a famous explorer recently pass away from the UK. I think it's Ralph.
Ralph Fiennes?
Yeah.
He passed away?
Did he? Let me see. Maybe I'm lying.
What?
Someone
He died?
Let me see. Let's just focus on the match there.
Whoa.
So Dan was very shaken by that.
Yeah. He's a badass. That guy is amazing.
Oh no, it's not him. It's not him.
Oh, thank God. Well, we have...
Thank God.
thank God.
It's like when someone's receiving an award for a music album, first person I want to thank is God.
Which is not a person.
that would indeed be quite interesting. If someone were to say that, that would actually be the best moment ever. But yeah, Randolph Fiennes
You know what
is an
was
explorer.
hilarious, Dan, as we have an eco round happening.
Okay.
Yesterday, me and James went down to the lobby bar to grab some food, and there was a Cavaliers versus Golden State game on the TV, and we were like, "Oh, awesome! Let's watch the game. The finals have started. Blah 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 blah. Game 1." Only to realize today that actually that was a replay of like the last year's finals, and that the first game is like Thursday next week. And I was telling James about all the stuff that happened like last year and giving him the storyline and everything, and it was actually a replay.
That's
and
amazing.
we didn't figure it out.
It did say
Like we were
it
watching
said
for 10
game
minutes.
7 on the TV, and you said it's game 1, and I was like, I'm sure it said 7. It literally said game 7.
I knew it definitely had to be the first game if it's this year's finals, but they were actually replaying the last year's game, which
That's
makes
so good.
sense, like building hype before this year's finals start. But
That's amazing.
I'm just amazed at how like we were watching and thinking it was live.
You're a basketball fan, I'm just a casual pleb. I don't know. It's all the same to me.
You got a lot of basketball shoes though. Do you ever play basketball?
No, they're just comfortable.
So you're a poser. You're a poser.
Maybe I just like comfortable shoes, no matter their source.
I suppose that's possible.
6-1 is on the way for SK. Immortals not off to a good start on their CT side of Overpass. KNG unable to save anything. Henny with just the 1 kill at the moment, but it's still early days. But I mean, with 6 rounds on the board, Immortals can't really afford to let them get many more. Saw Phelps there in full chill out mode, and there's Henny. Man like Henny back on the AWP with his teammate KNG. So I do wonder how common this will be, the double ops on the Immortal side.
The double up is indeed a strong one on that CT side. It's going to be fun to watch. I'm excited. Fallen single op in it. I say fallen single op thing. Not as if you can dual wield ops. That would be pretty impressive. KNG though, misses the flick shot, and that's going to be SK now claiming Suez control. And it may feel as though they're posturing that B play, but actually we get the bomb just running, sprinting its fur just all the way into the A bomb site. I love the sense of immediacy here from the SK side. They realized what had happened with the rotations, how they were threatening towards B, and that they could get into position here very quickly. And this is going to work out. Fallen now going very aggressive with the AWP, only to be stopped by some smoke. and there's still a minute left to play. That's how you do it, and all the pressure's on Immortals. The guessing game is there, and Taco, we've seen it previously, trying to entry frag through short, this time unsuccessful. I think last time was also unsuccessful, but maybe his team can be successful as they now wrap around towards the monster area to go for the final push.
3 Ts remain versus the full Immortals side. Seems they were trying to avoid the AWPs, but it's cost them a lot of lives. Fer and Cold trying to make it happen. 3 kills on the B bomb site, and now there's Henny on the high ground, and Henny again to finish things off.
I have breaking news, guys.
Okay.
So, KNG actually is abbreviation for Calango, which is a species of lizard in Brazil. And his nickname is KNGV because V stands for Vito, which is his name.
His name is Vito.
So this is like lizard Vito.
V-I-T-O.
This is like, yeah, this is like lizard Vito. Well, it's probably like longer than Vito, which is just like shortened. But so he's a lizard basically. So we're just gonna call him Lizard. Lizard with the kill on to Fallen.
There's a lizard in Soul Calibur. For those of you who like fighting games, M-Lizard.
You also have Blizzard.
Some trivia for you. Yeah, lizard with a blee. Blee. Anyway, I don't know what the hell's going on right now. 3 versus 3. what a random throw. Oh my god, I'm just completely put off my game. Down talk.
Cole's still alive, First still alive as well in this 2v3. And the interesting thing is the positioning from Fer. He's all the way in the A bomb site now, just wrapping up that A long area. And the bomb is, of course, lost, but there's time to play with. If Cole just keeps him entertained, he gets another frag. Maybe they could have pulled something out of the bag here as Fer was ready with the flank, and it won't be the case. He has to do it all alone. They'll likely have no idea he's here, but he will be making some sounds. So now you can see that potentially, is attention turning? Well, Fer's attention is turning straight onto Steel's face, and it is no more. But with 7 HP, there's not much more to do. Ooh, I say that though. Almost making a frag there, should his aim have been a little bit to the right through the wooden boards. And you can see the...
And out of focus. And in focus.
Yeah.
Triggered.
So yeah, very nice round there from Immortals in the chaos there. Able to make it happen. And very chaotic. Obviously, had if not for Henny pushing aggressively, and generally Immortals playing aggressively in that round, so they could wrap into.
That's a bad miss.
Connector wouldn't have been the case. There's a criticism that Jaeger had of Luminosity yesterday, that they need to be more aggressive against SK. You can't be played passively against SK. We're seeing Immortals are showing us necessary aggression.
Yep, just the way it has to be against SK Gaming, and Immortals finally getting their foot back into this game. It was looking for a brief moment that SK is running away with it, but and also you have to take into account these players just know each other so well. You know, they spend a lot of time together. They practiced a lot against each other, so they know the tendencies of each other really well. The defaults, where are players positioned in those situations, and that's why it may be easier for Immortals to go aggressive versus SK, because they might have a better idea where the aggression needs to be directed at.
Fallen and Fer making their way into B. They've got 3 players to entertain. Henny not going to re-peek, or is he? He is. He's still going to tag Fallen, and Lucas will finish things off. No shortage of aggression from one of the most aggressive players, I think it has to be said, in professional CS at the moment, Henny, and he's got the skill to back it up as well. Dangerous player. Immortals getting their fourth round on the board, catching up to the score of SK, currently sitting on 6. We see the buy wheel, the Counter-Strike buy wheel. Remember old Counter-Strikes, you could just disable the menu entirely and use the text menu, but no, we must have a wheel. 3 Tech 9s on SK, forcing it up around 2 AK-47s. So far, the trades will be unfavorable. As I say that, they make it a 3-on-3. 2 AWPs remain, though. Again, these dangerous Brazilian AWPers. So many dangerous AWPers from Brazil. Currently in top flights Counter-Strike. There's Henny delivering another kill at long A. Taco and Phelps remain. And I thought this might be a problem for the SK side to deal with. Maybe adjustment is required to get round the likes of Henny and KNG. We'll see how it progresses on the T side. Phelps alone now in 1 versus 2.
Yeah, absolutely doable. Again, SK have a pretty fast pace to their rounds, generally speaking. So whenever you get to this mid-late rounds situation, it's actually like there's a minute left at least usually. So that gives the clutching player a lot of time to work with, and that also means that it's very hard for the CTs because even in this situation with the man advantage, they have to spread out. They have no idea what's going on. There's so much time for Phelps to play with that everything's called into question. And Phelps will make his way in towards this A-bomb site, and he can get himself a plant, perhaps giving sound cues away now. But he should have enough time to get the plant off without a hitch, and he can fall back onto the toilet's position most likely if that's where he wants to go. But smoking things off, there is the Molotov before he falls back and away. So Phelps playing close and A long. Let's see if he can clutch this one out. It's going to be tough.
Banking on the fact that the Immortals will spend time figuring out where he is, but Lucas is coming in from the toilet's position, so they should have a good inkling that he's either going to be long or around Optimus, and now they should know it's long. Nobody home. Both players have a kit. Now Henny can hold the angle, but it seems they're still not convinced. I mean, Phelps, he could have rotated around the toilets from long, but indeed Henny will spot him before he can do anything about this defuse. 5 to 6. Immortals continue the comeback. SK still have the money to buy a bunch of AK-47s. I don't expect AWP no armor from Taco with 5250 in the bank.
I feel like you're going to see really aggressive, wow, Henny, man. You know, had the sound cue there, great flick as always. I feel like we're going to see a very aggressive play here, and indeed that's exactly what's going to happen. Just going to charge in. They know the double ops are going to be the choice here, so it's a great way to counter them. Just get into place really fast and try to catch your opponent off guard. Use the utility there to block off vision and get the plant. Force a situation where the AWP has to come to you, and that's going to be a problem for the CTs. Bomb down, and one thing here is that we see Steel being able to hold on to this position, and this smoke can be abused. You can stand on the box. I'm not sure if it's the right smoke to be able to do that, but sometimes you can stand on the box and see over it. Steel will be looking over it as it disappears, and there's one quick kill as now the CTs are in a good stead to retake the bomb site.
What is going on with Phelps? Okay, he's back. Not sure what he was doing before, but he's alive. And he has an angle to stop a defuse from coming in. It's a 10-second defuse in the smoke, which is not going to work out for the Immortals team. They've got 3 kills to find now. One of the last 2 players with a kit defusing the bomb. And I don't think the Ts had heard the bomb being defused. They will come in and try to take some money away from the CTs. So that seemed to take them by surprise. Either they just didn't believe it was being defused, or they didn't hear it.
What the hell is going on there?
Don't know, Yanko.
Okay.
Oh,
Is that the extent of that conversation?
Guess that was it.
Okay, great.
Guess that was it. Back to you, James. James is drinking water. He's drinking a lot of water. He's putting the cap back on. What?
You should commentate the game, not what James is doing.
All right. Oh, God.
Damn it, Dan.
Sorry. So we have right now Escape again keeping the pace, not super fast this time, but again having a good pace. We're seeing them not wait around. They just make their way in slowly, safely, using the utility to clear positions. Henny is in trouble, man. He has no idea, surely, that there are 2 or 3 players nearby, and that he just passed them like ships in the night through the smoke. And now Bolts is in a great position. He has support too. This is such a strong setup, to be honest. So now they're looking for KNG. They might throw deep nades. Bolts has the info, and he can catch them off guard. Here it is, looking around the corner. There goes the nades. Perfect timing. Double and the bomb as well. It's a very strong setup. You've got to be so careful of this.
He will throw some smokes and flashes and get out of that area. Doesn't need to fight for the bomb there. It's a 5 versus 1 now. Cold0 wondering what has happened to the remainder of his team. Immortals proving strong on overpass in the recent rounds. Again, they've been playing catch up, but now they're in a great position to take the lead. Cold maybe waiting for what could be an inevitable flank, although one is not required for Immortals in a position where they have not lost a single player and they have control of both bomb sites. Lucas pushing towards T-spawn from B in the meantime. So they will look to take this out of the hands of Cold, who starts approaching the bomb site. We've got Bolts playing the off angle, red health, making sure his gun is well and truly in the wall. The silencer would give his position away if he looks towards the site. So there is a timeout. KNG, does he want to peek with the AWP in a situation? It will just show some skin at the end. But Cold Zero will hold on to his AK. Great timing from Bolts as the grenade is deployed. He pops out and manages to get the second kill as well. And that being the bomb carrier really slows down the round for the T side of SK. 6-6 at the moment. And it is a pistol round for SK minus the, well, plus rather, the AK that Cold Zero saved from the previous round. But looks like it may be a difficult end to the half for SK.
They're going to have to. I mean, one thing again is that they've been playing fast, and this is the kind of like weapon loadout that you'd like to keep that pace going. Doesn't change the game plan too much, I think. With all the smokes that they have, they're just trying to get close. The thing that they're really missing is the flashbangs to make to allow them to get close to the bomb site to set up all the grenades. Because if they play the wall of smokes execution, then they will be in a really good spot to win the round. To be honest, if they're able to get that get close without losing anyone. But Henny's there, and he's so good in these positions. As Yanko mentioned, this is what he does. Doesn't quite get the third kill, though, close, but no cigar. 3 versus 3 as the bomb can be planted, and the rotation now is in play for the CTs. And they're going to take this slowly, allow the smokes to diminish, and allow their teammates to come in so they can be coordinated all together.
Fallen checking for any flank. They haven't identified that all the Immortals players are on the site. There are 2 people to protect the defuse from coming in, but they're still being careful, Immortals. They know where one of the 2 players is. The other is coming from long. And, ooh, first going to deliver one straight in the head, but they can't stop Steel before he defuses the bomb again. 8-6. SK were in a reasonable position, but couldn't take it over the line. And Immortals will look for their 9th round, but the AKs are coming out for SK once again.
Can we see the scoreboard of Zero Corner? All right. That is all. No, I'm kidding. I wanted to say that you could see how the last couple of rounds all ended by diffuses, so close clutch rounds. 2 of those smoke diffuses, SK not being able to stop the diffuse from happening. 1 round, Cole just saved. So close game so far, but a great job from Immortals. You could also see they were down 6-1, and now they're able to get 7 consecutive rounds on the board and in a good position to get the 9th total.
It's a very tense situation for this last round with 4 AWPs in play indeed, and a diminished utility already for Immortals, but they still have a good amount left. 1 minute left with 1 minute remaining, and 3 players on A, 2 on B. Very passive setup from Immortals, allowing SK all the space that they'd like to work with, and they're going to take it. First, just exploring. He's an explorer, but let's see how intrepid he is as he makes his way closer and closer to the bomb site. Now, Taco does take, again, just pokes at the bomb site, as he does and as he has been doing, trying to see if he can work his way in and get the entry or just get the information for his team. And speaking of his team, SK are now finding themselves back towards B, looking for a split, and with further to run distraction on the A site where there's 3 players. This is a good setup for SK in the round.
16 seconds, 10 players alive, 4 AWPs on the server. 10 seconds and the first kill is coming in. 8 seconds, how do SK get the bomb down? Henny's dancing around the site, finally taken down. It's a 4 versus 2, and the bomb will get planted with 1 second to spare. Talk about playing it down to the line. Bolts versus 3, they know exactly where he is, and Cold Zero will rip his face off with his bare hands for a 7th round. For a 7th round for SK. Look at all those colors. Christmas tree keyboards for SK. Or was it?
What's your thought on those?
Christmas tree keyboards?
Yeah.
Not my bag of
Crisps.
Christmas or crisps. Yeah. Christmas tree keyboards are not for me.
You mean your bag of Christmas?
I don't know.
Christmas does not come in a bag.
Well, it really does if you think about it. With your decorations and so on, they come in bags, right? So Christmas comes
They come
in
in
bags.
boxes, maybe.
Boxes and bags. If you go to a market in a bag, if you order on Amazon, then a box. Or somewhere else. Well then, the pistol round will be fought on the B bomb site. There's a flank coming in from Fur, and they can afford that in the 4 versus 2. The bomb will get planted for Immortals, but it's all about winning the rounds. Bolts peppering Coldzera, and finally he will get taken down. That's what happens when you don't hit people in the head. They just absorb bullets for days. You need a good 7-8, especially with the Glock. Good 7-8 shots to the chest from range to find a kill. And that's a pistol round for SK. And the plant for Immortals.
And this is where things could start to go wrong for Immortals, because now SK get a great start. They get the money, and with the money comes AWPs. With the AWPs comes aggression, and with that ruthless aggression comes sometimes, more often than not with SK, domination. And so that's what Immortals should be worried about. Again, we saw this yesterday with SK versus Luminosity. They got the ball rolling, and it just got a bit ridiculous on that CT side of theirs. It was a lot of fun to watch, though, from SK's perspective, at the very least. Ooh, just trying to get a cheeky headshot on the flick there from Fallen, but not going to connect. Does get some information, though, which is always nice to have. And now he's going to fall all the way back. But Immortals don't know that. They could still be lurking, so they're going to take their sweet time getting over towards the A bomb sites.
Pistols. That's quite the tight choke point for Fur. I would say it's in an advantageous position, but of course, he'll get headshots straight away. He can move forward now and let his teammates run distraction for him and clean up, and Fur can provide support and a trade. Steel knows Fur is still lurking in this position, and he will start to back off. Steel with a pistol. He's got the bomb. There are 3 players left. He'll try to reset the situation. He may be heard, though, by the players in the toilets moving up to the long area. Indeed, Cold is instantly rotating to long, placing and placing Steel in a zip-lock body bag onto the next round.
So Immortals there. Bolt's the leader these days, in case you didn't know. Steel, he confided in us yesterday, saying that did switch after Kiev, as Bolt's had some new ideas, and he was willing and ready and able to try to lead the team into another direction. We'll see how that goes for them, as they are still, of course, testing the waters there. And the T side is where the difference is made in the largest sense, one would say, as far as calling goes. So we'll see what the character is with Bolt's calling as time progresses on Overpass against the likes of SK, who are taking things fairly passively before they have all the ops in play. Because as you can see, only rifles and a UMP at the moment, with a handful of utility for them as well. Immortals with almost no grenades here. So this is interesting, because I feel as though they have enough smokes to definitely go for an A or a B play, but they don't really have the flashes to clear the angles, to clear all the space towards A. And they don't have Suez control yet either. So I feel no matter what they do, there is some level of gamble going on here.
I'm gonna gamble, Jim. 38 seconds. Slow rounds from Immortals. The bomb now outside the monster tunnel. They've got a smoke grenade left, and that's about it. KNG taken down towards A, and that's pulling players out of the B bomb site. Taco is isolated. He's playing around the pillar, around the barrels, and down he goes. Coldzera out of position, trying to get back into B. Will get picked off, so the simple fake has worked wonders for Immortals and put them in a nice position to win.
Yeah, this is a really nice situation, because they don't really have the utility to do a fake properly, but they can use the clock instead as a device to fake with, which is exactly what happened. We saw the over-rotation there from SK, and as you say, they got quite out of position, and that's what all you need oftentimes to get those kills, but maybe they can save the day. There's 3 players coming in for the retake. Phelps is looking desperately for the next one, and there it is. Sees one behind the pillar. That's some good information. Looking for the trade player as well. These positions are pretty intuitive, and every single player is knocked down by the bowling ball that is the SK team.
That is quite the retake from SK. Went down to the wire as well, and it was key. I was wondering if Phelps was going to pick up that defuse kit. It was in his screen for quite a while, and it became crucial. So really nice pickup from him. See some of the people who've turned up to watch these players play on LAN today. 2-round lead now for SK, and Immortals are on pistols. Deagle's Tech 9s a P250 onto Kayenje. Learning Brazilian, or Portuguese rather, with Yanko. Not what you expected.
I'm a man of many talents, James.
I look forward to seeing them, Yanko.
To be fair, he's been doing pretty well at all the stuff we've been throwing at him. As you said, the only thing you have yet to do, Yanko, is stage hosting. Lucky for you, we have a spot open.
Is over.
We have a spot open at the finals. For the sake, let's go. That'd be amazing.
I don't think the crowd could handle the amount of hype I would bring.
You could even bring your own soundtrack, like just walk on stage like a boombox on your shoulder. That'd be so sick. Playing that with Japanese, like the robot music.
That would be quite the scene.
That'd be so good, wouldn't
If
it?
only you guys, have you tweeted that?
Not yet.
That terrible music.
Not yet. I'm waiting for the correct moment.
Okay, look out for Yanko's musical choices for his treadmill expeditions. It's quite curious, to put it mildly. 30 seconds for these two Immortals players to get something done with these Deagles.
There's no way not to get hyped with that, though.
Yeah, but you showed me the lyrics, and they're the opposite of hype. Lyrics are like,
Oh, did you actually? Oh, yeah, you
kind
actually
of
saw them.
incredibly existential.
Yeah, but I don't understand Japanese, so I kind of, I don't really like listen to them all
Yeah.
the time. I just hear some random words being shouted.
But now you know. Now you know what it means, the meaning of the song. It's really sad, man.
You
The
sound like you're
feels-
moved by this song, Dan.
Feels bad, man.
This song is terrible. Please stop showing emotion for this song.
Dude, you haven't seen the lyrics, though.
I don't care what the lyrics are.
You need to see that.
The
You need to
lyrics
see it,
are pretty
James.
dark.
Both teams on the bye. I think the AWP is headed towards the connector area for the CTs, but I don't know if any will be looking over that smoke. In fact, there's quite significant presence in the connector area from both teams, so we might have quite the firefight on our hands. KNG and the teammate there. You can see the forward position from Senor Fallen and Fur. This round could get pretty crazy pretty quickly.
Cold, here he goes. Oh, well, he does go, but it's not in the way that he would have expected. Henny erases him from this round with that little up of his. And that's going to create a response here. Fallen needs to get aggressive, Phelps needs to get aggressive. They have to do something, and that's not going to be helpful for the SK team. They are getting wrecked at the moment. And Fallen, oh, he's got some swings. When was the last time you were on a swing, James? Because you're massive, you're probably massive for quite some time, so it must be a long time, right? Because I imagine most swings cannot withstand the massiveness, the enormity of you.
Depends on the swing, Dan.
I don't know when I was last on a swing, but I don't think I'd fit in a swing either.
Exactly, yeah. It's. But when was the last time?
I don't know. I just said I don't know.
There must.
I
you
don't
must know.
record my adventures on swings.
Swinging shenanigans.
When was the last time you were on a swing, Dan?
There's actually in the village where I'm.
There you go.
I was living for a while. There's swings there, and I used to. My best friend
Almost
used to go there.
trip down memory lane.
Because we would get so bored, right? And there's in that village like 1,000 people that live there, and no young people at all. So every time like we go back for like holidays or whatever, it's just me and him there. We're like, well, there's not much to do. Let's just go on the swings.
Well then. Funnily enough, I think I remember the last time I was on a swing.
There you go.
Next to the Houses of Parliament, there is a park, and they have swings there. And
Why are there no young people in your village?
I don't know. I think because they all try to leave desperately, whenever at any given
if
opportunity.
you stay, you become like that.
It's a good enough reason to run as far as you can.
Aggressive smokes from the CT side, but the T's are well past it. Triple peak from Fallen. Surely that will cause a rotation. Indeed, numbers 7 and 8, Fur and Phelps, making their way to the A site. And Immortals, after that fast pick, will slow the pace down. Bolt still lurking outside Monster, making sure there's no push from the CT side, or trying to punish one, should there be a push. And indeed, there is a cheeky push from Taco, and Bolts will do his job, taking Taco down, and that pulls Cold back to the B bomb site. SK not sure where to go, what to do. Bolts for second frag, and surely it's time for him to push. And the CTs, what do they do now? It's a 5 versus 2. They saw 3 at long, they lost a player. Bolts has picked off 2 players towards B. What do the final 2 players do? They're already in a very tight net. If they wanted to make a run for it, they have nowhere to go.
They are ensnared. But perhaps for not too long. 2 quick kills. There's another one. Phelps is delivering all of a sudden, and the bomb needs to make its way to a bomb site. A is no longer the target. They'll have to go to B. Will SK make this read straight away? Will they go with both players, or will they just wait for the plant to rotate as a team? The B bomb site's much more retakeable, so it does make sense to sort of stick together in this situation. But that said, we've got a movement forwards to Connector, which is a really cool play actually, out of Mr. Fur.
Oh, that's a bad miss. Lots of grenade spam, and all the panic in that situation may give an advantage. However, he did run through Monster, and I do wonder if he has been heard by his opponents. And now, do they wait? Oh, he's going back looking for the flank, and Henny's trying to flank him, but Fur's ready for it. That leaves Steel in a sandwich, having to push through the smoke to get position. There's a Molotov, which limits where he can stand. Fur baiting him, and Fur will clutch around for his side. What a retake from SK. Wasn't that 2 versus 5?
2 versus 5, James.
Holy moly.
And
holy
what
potatoes.
the hell was that from Immortals? Why aren't they going back to B? Bolts cleared the whole bomb site. He was pushing to flank. Why were they just waiting for him to get a kill and then go A when they could have just went down connector and planted the bomb at an empty bomb site then?
I don't know, man, but I'm happy that we saw a 2v5 because that was awesome.
I don't know, man.
That was awesome. Mine. So now where do Immortals go? It's not the best buy in the world. Fallen actually missing the flick shot there as well. It's unfortunate for him. And SK are well set up here. As long as they just hold on to this round, that's 13 rounds. They'll be up against, I think, an eco situation unless Immortals get a bomb plant. We can see here, yeah, their loss bonus has been reset. So it's a really, really bad situation. SK can stretch this all the way to the end, and they'll need to because they have no money as well, as you can see. So really important round for both teams. I think the team that wins this round has favour. Obviously, SK with a bit more, as they already have an additional 3 rounds. So as far as map control goes, there's nothing really to shout about for Immortals so far. They're playing it a lot slower than SK were. Previously, SK were getting all the positioning very quickly as much as they could, and here we see Immortals just really taking their time. They haven't cleared anything towards toilets. They've just got one guy in connector, and now they're coming back for a B play. There is 3 players here to respond, so we'll see how ready they are to deal the damage. Well, that is going to be a quick trade there. Oh, the flashbangs are absolutely spot on, and this spells doom, terror, horrible, horrible things for SK. Fur and Fallen, I mean, they just did a 2v5. I don't know if they can manage a 2v4 as the bomb is planted. There's not really the time to work with, so they will hastily retreat. So SK just losing against the straight-up B set piece there. And with these 2 guns saved, if they can save them possibly, will we see a force buy with these 2 guns, Yanko?
I think we will. Simply because whenever you have an AWP on Fallen, that's reason enough for you to follow up.
I like
and also
that.
you can see that some of the players will have 1400.
Yeah.
And it might be better to force at that point in time.
Yeah, I agreed. And also with the 2, or with one of the rifles dropped, that's a UMP that can be bought in Kevlar on one of those players. So yeah, there's they can have like 3 or 4 guns here, I think. Let's have a look. Oh, 5 guns, in fact. Yeah, so there you go. Just no nades to follow it up with. So it looks very respectable, and the UMP is still very strong. So we'll see if the Immortal side can make this work. Lucas going in for entry fragger duty straight away towards Monster onto B bomb site. No one at barrels. They'll already lose the positioning towards connector. Fallen has that. This is very, very bad right now for Immortals because 2 players are separated from everybody else. They have to win all the fights here. And the bomb is finally making it over there. And with no short control, you have to favor SK here.
Taco at the back of the site, running distraction. There might be a boost from the CTs. Indeed, there will be. And after getting a pick already in this position, you do wonder if Immortals will check this area. Flashbang's coming in, and now Henny knows what's up. There's a flank on the flank. Fur does not realize that Steel is behind him. So I think Immortals will just try to hold formation until Steel can get a pick, but will Steel look as shallow as Fur is standing. Now he may be distracted by Henny, but there we go. Fur moving forward. If he had stayed where he was, he might have got a pick there, but little does he know. The flank was there. That leaves Phelps alone. The bomb's still on the floor. Repositioning, but he gets the 1 versus 1. He knows where Steel is. It's a great grenade, but doesn't do any damage. Steel with a crouch to send the headshot into the jaw. But it's still SK with a 1-round lead. But Immortals looking strong at the moment. I think they may have broken the money of the CT side, so perhaps an opportunity to even things up and then take the lead.
They're also doing a good job of switching up the pace. We saw a couple of slower rounds into executes. This time around, Lucas just going for that contact play for the entry kill. And they do manage to trade effectively and gain access into the bomb site.
So now just the pistols. The expectation is low. But they have aggressive positioning. Immortals, what do you do? What do you do?
It's a nice dog.
Where?
Where could there be?
Oh,
a dog?
right there.
Is anyone?
I was like, is there a dog on Overpass? I was like looking, I haven't seen one before on Overpass.
Look how forward SK are. Well, it's a Nico. Never mind. I was going to say this would be somewhat out of character, but it is pistols, so they want to be close. Fallen and Taco with a nice double peek, but Fallen's going to be peeking first, and he'll get the 1 kill. Taco's still alive for now, but he'll finally get finished off. 3 kills coming the way of the T side, and coldzera will be left on his lonesome. However, he's picked up an AK. However, he's dead. So there it is, 12 to 12. The loss bonus is not great for SK, so their buy might be lacking. We'll see. It is coming in at the moment. There is a purple HUD.
What color is your HUD?
I think it's green. It might be orange.
Because of
Or
Face
white.
It?
I can't actually remember. I have no idea what color it is. That's
Orange
weird.
because of Face It?
No. I have a pink crosshair.
Well, here comes the push straight in through the monster tunnel into the B-bomb site. Taco looks like he's very ready indeed. It's a nice snap onto the head of KNG there. And that first kill goes a very long way in situations like this, but the trades do come back for the Immortals side. All Fallen, I think, trying to jump across there. We'll throw the smoke down, blocking vision. This is really important. That smoke stops the Ts being able to push forwards and allowing better rotation for the CTs. Fallen sitting in the smoke, playing around it, trying to get very tricky here. And, oh my god, launching himself through. That is very, very heinous aggression there from Fallen. It's going to pay off massively. And right now the bomb is ticking away, but these players are all smoked off and stuck by short. We'll have to see whether or not the CTs of SK can get a good read as to what's going on here. Now, they should have the information to realize that the remaining players are on short. They have to know that both are here. Otherwise, the trade setup is going to be too strong, and it will overwhelm them. And it looks like that might be the case here. Trying to pressure the bomb, but it's starting to tick pretty quickly. Nicely done by Fallen. What a beautiful round from him for the quad kill.
It's a hero play, jumping over the smoke to kill the bomb planter. Really fun stuff. I expect we'll see more of that in the future. We've seen both teams do good things using this jump, but this was, I can be a hero, baby. Nice 4K from Fallen, and again, opportunities come and gone for the Immortals team, but they're still on the buy, as both teams are. 2 UMPs on SK, so Immortals will have the superior buy despite losing the round. But will they be able to take advantage of that? That is the question. They have to establish where SK might be playing. We'll see if they venture towards Long again with some flashes. Indeed, Fallen is over towards Long with the scouts for this round, and coldzera will be the AWPer. Steel with a boost, expecting some aggression from the CT side, but none just yet. Holding formation, RSK.
connector is very available here. Connector's a really important position to allow yourself options late into the round for the T side. So if you want to go for a default and you develop map control here, then the map control you have on toilets and sewers becomes way more valuable because, of course, you have rotation available. However, nice shot onto Henny. Doesn't go down, but that damage can be also quite impactful. Swapping out the guns, though, as both players did get legged. Now it's going to be a case of getting value out of this UMP here. Does he get a flash from a teammate? How does the situation go? Looking to go for the play here. He's got great intuition, has Fur. Oh, that's a problem. He's been spotted now. Goes for the jump, almost taking down Henny. That would have been a massive frag, but Henny's still in play. And the push comes onto A.
Full rotation from the CTs, but can it get here in time? 17 seconds for that bomb to get planted. There's no grenades, no flashes, no nothing for the SK team. Taco can't afford to run through the smoke anymore, the Molotov rather. And Cole is still on a B bomb site, so I do wonder, well, 5 versus 2, I guess they've got no choice but to abandon ship. And we're going to start to trade rounds here between these two teams. And look at the money on SK. 4 players have literally 0. So it's going to be 1,400 across the board of 2,400 for Taco. That's rough.
Yeah, Yanko, for me this round was a lot about just SK playing like too passively, because they had no information basically at all as to what was going on until the push was coming to the A bomb site basically, and then it comes down to who gets the entry frags, right? So I mean I think the only information they got was from short looking in towards door. There was a shot, and then after that this fell back immediately, and that was it for info. So are they playing too passively here to allow Immortals to do this?
I think they are, but to be honest, it looks to me like SK is doing that deliberately, like trying to run that style. Like we saw yesterday against Luminosity on Cash, they were also super passive, which is something that you don't really see from SK. And then when they switched to Overpass, they were actually hyper aggressive. So I think this might even be SK just trying to practice in a live environment, seeing as how they already secured their spot at the finals. And talking to Taco, not just in the interview, but they also said one of the reasons why they will be attending so many events and spending so much time in Europe, because they want to actually use events as practice to an extent, right? They want to try and play some of the weaker maps in a tournament environment, try to basically just strengthen their weak points.
That's a very cool approach, and it's like the long ball approach, which I really like. That's very cool actually from SK. A consistent force to be reckoned with. And that's also an interesting idea as well. Just how long can teams stay at the top 4? Because usually when a team's very dominant, it's only for no more really than a year period. That's like a long time, it feels like, for one team to be very dominant. And we'll see whether or not in this situation with that pick off. Oh my god, Fallen, you are disgusting. Oh, that shot was disgusting. Fallen himself is a lovely man. And that's another lovely shot from Fallen onto Lucas. Another one, perhaps, as he tries to play around this ledge. And the smoke goes down. He's still in this round, finally taken out. But we'll see how much damage, or rather how much his damage has meant to the chances for SK, because they have 2 players oncoming with automatic weapons.
Bomb planted on the CT side, and that was really important. Otherwise, the flanks would have killed the round. But it will be still killing the rounds. We can hear them shouting from up here, and they are 2 floors below us.
They're pumped.
That is pretty bonkers.
No,
So,
I'm excited.
yeah, they're pretty hyped for that one. And it is them in the lead again.
You mustn't forget there's still a chance for Immortals to make the finals.
There is indeed.
It's not all in their hands. They're also dependent on the results that Optic achieves. Optic's last game. I'm actually gonna try and find out who Optic is playing.
Well, we have a very fast Antico into the B bomb site. Very simple stuff. I like these Antigos, stick together, play it fast, play together. Which is what I said, well, first, but... Oh, okay, so Optic playing NRG, Yanko.
Oh, that's the last game. That can be very interesting. NRG has been improving recently, and with a favorable map, it wouldn't be beyond
Comprehension.
Comprehension, thank you,
Yeah.
Dan. For them to lose a map to energy, and that could ruin their plans here.
Oh yeah, yeah, that would be really interesting, I must say. Well, we'll have to see how that one turns out. I mean, I'm curious. I'm very curious how Immortals will develop with KNG as well, because that's the one thing that we can't forget. You know, it's going to take a while for him to kind of fit into the team, to develop some roles on the team, to get that flexibility. Because right now he's just kind of slotting into where FNX was. It's not necessarily an easy thing to do.
Right then, it is match points for Immortals versus SK. And SK, they've got a buyout once again. Fallen's managed to eke out an AWP. There's a French gun in tow on Fur and other bits and bobs on the other players. Bomb left in a passive position for now, but who won't be passive is Henny, taking Cold Zero down in early stages of this round. Fallen still in a forward position towards the party area. He can mount an offense to connector fairly quickly, but he's on his own, so that would be dangerous territory for him perhaps. But Phelps, he's gone for a push. He spots Bolts trying to get something done over towards the B bomb site. Down to 12 HP though, he's got to be careful. Taco peeking Lucas and he'll win the duel. But again, the bomb hasn't been spotted just yet.
KNG great position, catching Phelps. He's on the angle, but needed that headshot immediately. And they get shut down one by one by one. And I have a feeling this will go to overtime. How do you guys feel?
I have no idea. It looks like Immortals have got the money to buy in the next round should they lose this one. At least Steel's got $10,000 in the bank. What about you, Yanko?
What about me? I don't have $10,000 in the bank.
Do you expect this to go to overtime? I mean, how can you have that expectation?
I expect nothing.
Why do you expect that?
Just because SK win this round, they have the AWP onto Fallen. Generally, it's been pretty close. But if you look at the economy, ooh, okay, never mind. There's still time here for Steel to make this one happen. Got to evolve to that. It might be over. Or here, Steel is in control of the situation at the moment, and SK are going to make their way around on the rotation. And Steel, what does he do? Does he actually go all the way around himself, or does he stay in bank? In the bank, looking to try and do this one. CTs are spotted, gets himself the one-on-one, can't win the battle, and they may try to just find the AWP here, because they get the defuse. It's a fresh plant, so there's lots of time for them to just hold the defuse off for, so they can get an AWP in their hands. We'll see, I'll have to see if they can do that, but yeah, here are some great moments here from Taco towards the B-bomb site. Wasn't having much luck on the T side opening up the B-bomb site, but he's having some fun defending it. And we do have the AWP there, and no one's spent enough money to buy an AWP, so I think they must have saved it, found it and saved it. So that's good news for them. So now let's see if my assumption is correct, if SK will manage to make this work. Fallen on the boost here. Looking for play into a long. But Immortals are a slow team, so he might be waiting for a while.
Bolts in his usual lurker position towards B. And indeed, Immortals are just in formation, biding their time, waiting around. 1 minute 20. Waiting for SK to exhaust their utility, to get bored of holding the same angle and have slow reactions, to get frustrated, to get impatient perhaps. And still there's little movement from the Immortal side, the old shoulder peek here and there. Henny moving around and out of connector. 1 minute mark, and they are walking in towards the party area. Meanwhile, SK lie in wait. Taco and Cold on B. Fallen has not changed position at all. He's just minding his own business on the long area. But if somebody tries to challenge him, he may shoo them away. And he's peeking on the A site, and maybe he will pull rotation once he sees players or grenades flying in. And it looks like 3 grenades will be headed in that direction. KNG around long will get cut off by Fallen and the AWP, and now he can focus on the A site for the most part.
A nice first frag, and it looks like Immortals are going to be running into quite the setup here from SK. And it looks like indeed it's going to overtime. 15-15, SK will crush Immortals in the 30th round. Now it gets interesting to see whether or not there can be salvation here for the Immortals side, as they had dropped my what's this called again? Microphone pack, whatever it is. As now they've seen so many rounds from Immortals, they may start to feel a bit more comfortable in how they play against them. As Yanko was saying, they have obviously created a situation where they started to play passively. Maybe at this point they've experimented enough. Now it's time to go a bit more aggressive, close the game out. No worry for money. And here is some aggression for you, Yanko. Here is some aggression for you, Yanko.
Yes.
How about that, Yanko?
Yes,
Yeah, you're happy now, Yanko?
Give
Good.
me more.
Nice.
He might be about to get more bolts. Is moving quicker. Fast play from him. Tries to move away from an off angle, but it's not going to work out. Fallen will spot somebody towards the boulder, but it's a 5 versus 3, and they've done enough for now, so he can just move out of position and maybe become bait for Fur, depending on how this works out. Nope, he's rotating all the way back, and Fur will remain in his position. He is playing an off angle at the moment, Fur. If somebody comes around that corner, they're likely to be pre-aiming towards Fallen rather than Fur, so Fallen can become distraction in that sense. And again, it's the Fallen and Fur setup I was talking about before, which we're seeing a glimpse of now on CT overpass. The remainder of Immortals moving slowly towards A.
Fallen ready and waiting. Flash over the top, slowing things down. And this is great, because Fallen wants to slow things down right now. Taco is on a massive flank. You want to buy time for Taco here. Fur goes aggressive too. So, well, there's buying time, and then there's just killing everyone. Killing everyone works as well. KNG, though, bursting back into the A sites. But Fur does so as well.
Bro fist, high five, let's go.
Did he just high five the bro fists?
I think he did.
And he doesn't even care. Just like, this is what I do. This is who
You
I am.
hate to see it.
This is who I am.
Fist is better than the high five. Because if a person next to you's got clammy hands and you've got clammy hands, and that may put you off your your game. It's like you've given me clammy hand, you've given me moisture hand. So bear that in mind. If you have clammy hands, please refrain from asking me to shake your hand at events. Have some help out your fellow man.
I agree.
Or wear gloves. Gloves are fine. If you've got clammy hands, put gloves on. I'll shake your glove.
Maybe you could supply the gloves, James. Here, put this on. Maybe why don't you wear gloves? Boom.
What, like the Queen?
Yeah.
Some posh gloves.
Yeah, get some really posh gloves. I mean, I'm sure there's some gloves in the game that you like. Just put those on.
Because wear some boats gloves.
Replicas.
Can get cold when you're on a speedboat in the spring.
And the upside is you could also take them off and slap someone with them if you want to challenge them to a duel. That's the upside of wearing gloves.
Yeah. Could do that.
Pistols at dawn. Producer Patrick says scuba gloves.
Scuba
But
gloves.
isn't that just a wetsuit?
I have no.
Or is
They're
it
separate. They're separate.
Okay. It's not a massive onesie.
I've got 3mm gloves and 5mm gloves.
Ooh. Well, there's a quick pick there from Taco. More passive approach in this round, but the slow creep from Immortals will arrive onto the A site, B-bomb site, sorry, as we have a defense still looking good. But that's a shot that may be a problem as it was missed, because that's going to be Phelps dead due to that. Steel now kills Cold as well, so definitely a shot that Cold wanted to hit. The implications were huge. But Fallen's coming in. 1 versus 3.
As well.
And let's see if he's going to get something done, or if he's just going to... He's going to tease. It's good to... I mean, even if you're not going to go for it, it's good to like make noise around, just show presence and so on, and throw flashes and stuff like that, because it... Ooh, shot miss. I don't think he's going to go back to the well here. Because it creates a situation where if the T's want to hunt you, then all of a sudden they're like, okay, well, actually, he could be anywhere. But if you have cut noise for so long, is he in trouble? No. Oh my God. How does he do this? How does he connect that, James?
Nice. So swift. Concise, fast.
He's a force of nature, James. He's a force of nature.
Force of nature.
That's a great angle. I like that.
You can see him barking information, barking instructions to the team. We are going to do this. This is this. They're going to do that.
He's a green crosshair. James, you should change your green crosshair as well.
No, the pink one's easier to see, which is why it's pink. Yellow and pink, the high-res colors. There is actually debate as to whether like a hot pink is more visible than yellow at the moment in terms of high-vis colors. Fallen with a great start onto Henny, but that AWP can be collected, and it will be Lucas carrying it for the moment. We'll see if it gets into the hands of KNG later on. Lucas will hold the angle while KNG approaches the site close.
I love this situation. When a team decides to just go up A long really fast, it can be a nice little counter strat. If the other team is playing aggressively to connect her, as we can see now, that's more or less the case. They're on the A bomb site now because the timing is so quick. It's a nice counter play, and it can be gambly because if you don't have the read, obviously even if you do have the read, there is always an element of they might not go for it in that particular round. But all right, that makes sense. Just jumping with the CZ, take that frag easily. But still, the advantage here is not all too much lost by Immortals. They're still in a good position with the bomb down. Ouch.
Yeah, still needs to do more than that, perhaps. Flashbang for any flank, and Lucas has got great angles with the AWP through the bank area. And now they know where the last player is. Still, will try to get around the corner, can't quite do it. But the bomb, it's planted for Lucas, and he's still facing at the moment. No fear from Lucas, popping out and taking the last round of the first half for a 17-16 lead over SK.
He's actually shouting something over to them. Cheeky bugger.
What do you think he's shouting?
Like, you never
Get off, guys.
You never could beat me in a 1v1. Like, you could never win a clutch against me. Something like that.
Maybe he's shouting to Phelps.
All still mates.
Hey Phelps, where you at? Where you at? 4 AWPs in the first round. So SK with the all-in play, 4 AWPs on the 2 AWPs on the T side is very well. On either side, it's very risky, but on the T side, it's maybe it's a play for the current situation between the two teams and the fact they know KNG and Henny are very likely to be AWPing together, so they'll fight fire with fire, cold and fallen. That's a dangerous duo with sniper rifles. Two players in long, Bolts and Henny for the Immortals team, although they can rotate into toilets from the positions that are being played at the moment. Again, SK willing to play it slow as well. So we've got really long rounds between these two teams. It is a game of mental endurance. SK with a big presence around the connector toilet area, but being very careful as well.
Very slow pace. If you consider how they have played as well, it's quite surprising, perhaps to Immortals. But the Immortals have not been playing that aggressively themselves, so it doesn't make too much difference for them. As I say, that Henny's going in now to look, see what's going on. Here's all the grenades going off. Just wondering what the hell's going on. Up there's a catch. There is Fallen. And that should tell them exactly what's going on. In fact, they are well aware. Here comes the defense, and it looks very easy. Cole's coming in now, last man standing against 5, and he'll die. I think I heard some woos.
Yeah, well, it's match points, I think, for Immortals.
You heard the woos, but the woes for SK Gaming continue here.
Nice.
Yeah, Immortals, they take 19, they take the match. 2 AWPs, 5 AKs for the SK side. We'll see if it's a slow round again. The buy is reasonable despite the double AWPs in the previous round. And he going for a pick. Will offer himself up. Is he going to go for a pick? Could be a double one, or maybe even a bait situation. No shot for Henny on that occasion. Not afraid to go into connector at close quarters with the AWP either. KNG taken down. 1 minute 30 on the clock, and that's Immortals in a nasty spot. Will it be Monster with no grenades from SK?
Looks like a contact play. Steel's waiting very passively. The problem is, as with the crouching, even with the defensive position, you just can't see this, which is why it's so powerful. And I say that Lucas gets an angle, and that's a nice frag from him. Oh, the tapping continues, and the odds even up as Cold arrives onto the scene. Seal looking to go through the smokes to punish the bomb planter, perhaps finds him. Not even on the plant fallen. Steel continues the action there. Trio frags for him. Now as Cold as the last man standing, this could be the moment for Immortals, unless Cold goes absolutely insane. Taking one frag, looking to find a next one on the tap down. 40 seconds left. That's him done and dusted. Bolts with the last kill and the win in overtime for Immortals. Overpass to them.
Definitely an upset here at the esports arena, considering how SK is a very, very strong overpass team themselves. We saw them dismantle Luminosity yesterday on the map with some
Next one on the tap down. 40 seconds left. That's him done and dusted.